Okay, I'll upload the beginnings of the Power Cell saga. From Nancy's files. I have many other videos to get uploaded someday. History tends to fade away in the past. So anyway, what we're looking at here is a 7-pound, 8-pound barium titanate cylinder. It's silver plated inside, outside. It's got, let's see here, something written here. It's Navy Sonar Systems. There are radio cells. Ohio got these a long time ago and got inspired to make power units, which actually I was approached by Reiterate Business Group, Joe Ho, president of a worldwide group of business people. Anyway, for 10 grand, I made them a power cell, tunable type, and got a bunch of these, put them in circuit. Actually they made a cage for it too. A nice black metal cage with holes in it. It was all set up, tested and everything else, and they were waiting for Carl David Anderson, Joe Ho, president of the Reiterate Group. That worked pretty good. And they were waiting for investors to come over from China to invest $25 million into production of these things, but it never happened, so it went on to different groups over time to Japan and England, Canada. I went to guest of Japan. Main media covered everything, and all the testing was done at Kyoto Institute of Technology, as well as others over the years. And for 10 years, I was funded for 10 years, different groups. They could never find secondary main investors that would go into production with these things. So I was tested at Canada Research and Development people, and it was Kyoto Institute of Technology. What they would do is test the outputs of it, as well as the center core I made of crystal stacks and small components, actually, that was self-reactive material, and got it to resonate perfect at 3 volts an ampere, roughly. And another last one I made, was it the last one? Yeah. Last one was 24 volts at a quarter ampere, measured by Thomas and others. And it was demonstrated and tested and everything. X-ray too, because you know most of these characters that talk about 380-foot batteries and stuff. It's happened to many investors where they get something fake or it doesn't work, or the government stole it and all this nonsensical gibberish. But these, the inner core must be pretty big, pretty heavy, and it would fit perfectly in the cases because barium titanate unto itself is very self-reactive. Ferromagnetic properties and magnetic properties, all kinds of different properties. As well as, you invested $250,000 every time. Investors have the right to have it analyzed, and that's what they did too, and I got all the reports. The crystal technology, dilithium laboratory, Heraldine dilithium laboratories, or lithium laboratories. And crystal manufacturers, which I dealt with. Goodfellow Crystals. The other one too, I'm trying to remember the name. But anyway, as I said, history tends to get buried, so. These will zap you, and a spark can go up to 2 or 3 inches long if you, on its own, actually. Any sparks today? No. This is an excellent transducer. Inventor 3 has one of these as well. They will produce sparks on their own, of course, but when you add a secondary system, which I got the idea to do. The first witness person was Dr. Hal Puda, who came with George Hathaway in 1993. I believe that was the time. And I was tuning it, showing Hal, and he was looking at it and testing it. He stayed an extra day. George Hathaway returned to Toronto And that proceed to me adding this section and working with different things and got something resonating perfectly. Well, it was a big hit in Japan, and on the last visit of Hiroshi Yamabe, which was, let me see, about 10 years later, it was still running in Japan. He wanted to get me back into Japan, but I never heard from him again. But he took me out for that. The Congressman Berkeley Liddell wrote me many letters about this. Eventually he came with his wife, and we went out for lunch, and then Dennis Kucinich was interested as well, talked on the phone for a while, and sent him metal samples when I was doing the H-Effect stuff as well at that time. So anyway, I would do this at nighttime, build these power units, because around that time I was working on the warships. Then later when I'm not working for the warships. This is an excellent source for, I guess you call it free energy. Grant Ramund, my partner as well, did an excellent video on this, and I'll try and get that uploaded too. Because he was connected to William Shatner and many actors and all that. Grant Ramund. He was had a paramotor company and was actually training actresses and actors on his paramotors. We connected and he hung around for a couple of years and we did these power cell measurements. And on the recent upload is Grant filming the power cell running. Then Chester of CBC Canada added his stuff to it, and it's combined in 2 parts, so check it out, okay? Which led me to, after looking at this stuff, to something that happened in 1993 as well, was the Odd Pink mystery. William Warren of Fort Worth, Texas sent me 2 odd pink crystals, and they had a huge write-up on them. Something about them, I'm going by total memory, okay? Let me go on. Now I'll do part 2 and actual proof of what happened. But those crystals, Ian, my lady at the time, said never show anybody these crystals. She seemed to know something about them, and I kept them in a box for years and then brought them out, which caused a lot of people to get interested in them for some unknown reason. Mama Lee, Peter Williams, CNN, with Nicole Whitney's News for the Soul TV, which I'll upload all the pictures and proof of that after this video. So, I did already find some info and go into emails. It's quite interesting to look up stuff on emails that has links and all that, so I found stuff on Odd Pink, which led to many people, events happening to them. The crystals would change color from one to the other. Lana Lee experienced some weird effects, scared the hell out of her, and Marianne Miller got hooked into them and was put them in a terrarium. And went on and on and on, and that kind of reached out into different people's areas. Okay, and witnesses would be Gene Manning with Constable Ted Usher when the New Westminster Police got really involved in these crystals and other weird situations that were going on in the U.S. government, people. So, eventually, Peter Williams of CNN filmed that. The whole news thing is somewhere in Nicole Whitney's stash of stuff. And she wound up actually the last person with the crystals, the odd pink crystals. Heraldine Lithium Laboratories analyzed them, and they're very interesting, I have to say that, and they would do weird things, and they'd even shut off Peter Williams' camera. I'll be uploading all the images for stuff that I know. I found early morning on the dilithium mystery story. A new power source. This is a new power source as well, but I presented to DARPA's MEMS Miniature Energy Management Storage Systems for space travel. They're looking for this solicitation when I was on the FBI program, DoD, looking for miniature energy storage systems so they can be used in spacecraft that go off into deep space without being recharged. So I presented that to them. And it's Dr. Bud Duran who looked into it, and I got the reports. I have all these documents, tons of them, in the other container, which is outside in a green container. Need somebody to go through and publish them. There's a lot of history that people forget about, and they're onto other crazy stuff. But anyway. So, for solving energy problems, you need a big group to look into these things. Charles Bombardier, a friend of mine in Quebec, Canada, offered the experimental factory for us to work in, Nancy and myself, but we were off on another venture. And Charles is connected to Kevin Oliver of News Sources. Now, Charles and I did a lot of talking on the phone and communications by emails. I have all the emails and all that stuff and letters and stuff, so I was not really that interested in it at that time, going on another venture. I could rebuild this thing, but I'm not that interested in it anymore, it's just one of those things. I got other things I gotta be doing, but I was funded a number of times building these for my clients, I call them. And one of them's going to come around and visit me. No names. Just he comes from a very interesting family and very well-known family. I have his emails. We communicated, and he might visit. So, also my lawyer might visit too, from Canada. But anyway, okay, on I go to what's that deal? Dilithium. So I use apps called Clips. I take screenshots of stuff and film it, talk over it, kind of thing, and upload it on YouTube. But this intro was brought to my attention by others who have an interest in this, and I'll try and find the Grant video that Grant did on all of this as well. So, I guess now, 12 minutes or almost 13 minutes into this talk, I'll go and do clips. Okay, great. Okay, I just want to cover that real quick. Okay.